political lingo. I know that a majority of the info war is about semantics. And what I like to do is I'd like to stop the doublethink.
You're getting fancy with words now. That's Al-Qaeda.
I'd like to stop the doublethink of using the term illegal immigration. That's a doublethink term. I want to rename it, and everybody to rename it, Mex offender. They're a Mex offender. Since the majority of the illegals are Mexican, they're Mex offenders. When people hear Mex offender, it reminds them of sex offender, and they become disgusted. They need to use that term.
Well, my issue is Mexico is a failed state, and I want them to have a free society and not use the United States as a steam valve. And then the big foundations, Bill and Melinda Gates on record, Ford Foundation, billions of dollars in bringing in a foreign group and not inducting them into freedom, but inducting them into globalism. That's what's dangerous. But that is an interesting point. About 80% of the illegals are from Mexico, and they've lost wars with the U.S. They're taught that the U.S. is evil. They're taught that it's part of a La Reconquista. We don't have these issues with other Latin American immigrants, though the foundations are trying to hype them up against the United States. When you go to these rallies with illegal aliens waving the Mexican flags and chanting, you know, we're taking over, it's the Mexicans. The problem is there's, from my study, no more patriotic, hardworking, intelligent group than Mexicans who will tell you, I'm an American, okay? And so it's just a very sad situation. They want us all at each other's throats. But that's an interesting point of semantics you raised, Robert. You're thinking too much, Robert. You need to just take your vaccine. Take this new shot they're coming out with, and everything's going to be fine. If you want to learn more about it on a serious note, Google brain-eating vaccines, Alex Jones. You can watch the 10-minute analysis I did. It's a key video. Let's talk to Jim in Washington. Jim, you're on the air.
Hi, Alex. Thanks for taking my call. I must be a pretty big Al-Qaeda operative because I'm the editor who put together the Resist DC video for Matt Shea that you were so kind to put up on your site with his article. I just wanted to say thank you very much. And
well, you knew how to dial a telephone. That's a high IQ is a sign of Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, I can count too. You know, maybe if I could open a book, I might be able to read.
You knew how to edit a video. You're Al-Qaeda.
Ooh, big dangerous Al-Qaeda. Ooh.
Yeah, you're white Al-Qaeda. Go ahead.
Well, anyways, I just want to tell you that, you know, we really appreciate the help. This is the kind of thing that everybody needs to get out and do, to go and help your local politician that's constitutional and will fight for the Constitution and everybody's rights. I just want to relay a little quick story about Matt. I was emailing him because our local propaganda machine just informed us that the local Spokane International Airport was going to have the naked body scanners in them. And my sister and her fiance were about to go through, and I had to call him and tell him, don't go through the naked body scanners. And so I relayed that story to Matt, and he said, yeah, I just got shaken down by TSA myself. I had to go get patted down because I refused to go through. And as soon as I was done, I placed a call to go get a piece of legislation in to ban those scanners in Washington State.
Well, good job, because they lied. They admittedly know it's bathing in radiation, and they lied. They are saving the images. They are a pack of criminal scum who cannot be held accountable because they've seized the government. They are the bad guys. We are the good guys under the Republic. Let's talk to Chris in Florida. Chris, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You're not with Al-Qaeda, are you?
No, I probably am.
Hand your guns in to prove you love the government.
Yeah, I love them a lot. Yeah, here, I'm in Florida, and like I said, you know, I got 2 kids I worry about. And
wait a minute, you heard the CPS worker having multiple children is a sign to have your children taken. You are Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, let him try. You know, anyway.
Oh, Al-Qaeda. He says he'll resist the government. Al-Qaeda. Go ahead.
I would rather die a free man. I get overworked on
No, you need to learn to suck their boots.
Yeah, there's no way. Anyway, like I was saying, you know.
George Washington said, the Declaration of Independence says naked body scanners and licking government boots and having the government take your children without due process and having poison put in the water to give us brain cancer and to be sterilized is freedom. And if you're against that and your child dying of cancer, you are against George Washington.
And then I've gotten some people that woke up. I got my mother finally to woke up. I got my friends telling their parents. and they're going on websites and they're proving it, and then
evil.
they're like, well, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I'm like, you got to tell people. You got to fight. I mean, our country's at risk. These presidents, I mean,
get in the government's face, put up flyers, say no, let the other sheep know, shake them out of their deep sleep.
I mean, they need to buy books. There's books out there. There's this guy, I don't want to, there's this book, The $1 Trillion Conspiracy. I read it. It tells you everything, the history of all the evilness, the Nazism that they have in our country, the poisons they're putting in our medicines and everything. I mean,
good job. I appreciate your call, Chris. Let's move on. Let's talk to another evil person who questions his loving government. We'd have milk and honey if George in Connecticut would just submit and lick boots. Go ahead, George in Connecticut.
Well, I haven't licked boots in a little while. It doesn't taste that good.
That's Al-Qaeda.
Yep, definitely. I was checking out another show, and Jane Burgomaster was calling in. I don't know if you remember her from the...
Yeah, no, we've been linking to her videos. They're talking about criminally charging her for exposing Baxter, adding weaponized bird flu to some shots that, that came out in the news.
Yeah, and she was on the show, and she was really upset because they're coming at her from two different ends. They're literally trying to declare her crazy because she dared to question the Big Brother.
See, there you go. I mean, she was a writer for a major publication in medical news and exposed it, and it was admitted, and I've seen it in the news that they're talking about arresting her. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. People have got to support her. That's why we've been linking to her videos and trying to stand up for her. I appreciate your call. We're going to hit on the honeybee news. And look, where is my honeybee news? If you're not for the honeybees dying, you're with Al-Qaeda. I mean, this shows our country's healthy, that almost all the honeybees are dead or dying. It's good. This is health. The government is caring. They love you. Everything. Goldman Sachs cares. Come on.
Attention, this is a special alert to all Americans who owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS. The IRS is now accepting reduced settlements from people who owe back taxes and dramatically lowering amounts owed. Due to the financial crisis in America, the IRS has announced a leniency plan in recognition of consumers' financial troubles in today's economy. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS, an open phone line has been established by American Tax Settlement for you to call and see if you qualify for a reduction by up to 75%. Number to call is 800-902-6969. Again, the IRS is now accepting reduced settlements from consumers who owe back taxes in response to the decline in today's economy. If you are struggling with $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS, you now may be eligible for a dramatic reduction by up to 75% and save thousands of dollars. For free information and to see if you qualify, call the open phone line into American Tax Settlement now. 800-902-6969. 800-902-6969. Again, 800-902-6969.
The question is, where should the American people draw their line in the sand?
What have we got? A republic or a monarchy?
A republic is based on a constitution which protects minority rights.
Not democracy, not mob rule, two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner.
So they think they own our land, they think they own our water, children, our education, our money.
We have to define who we are and what we will tolerate.
Somebody's going to ask you what you did during the Patriot Uprising.
You have been warned.
We have the facts. We have the Constitution. We have the Bill of Rights. We have common law. Knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm so excited to be able to offer you Don't Tread on Me, Rise of the Republic. Tyranny is upon us, but liberty and the sleeping giant that is the American people is rising. A new tool in the info war. Don't Tread on Me. Order it at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139 and support independent, patriotic Liberty films.
Gulf War vets, 9/11 workers, people around the Gulf oil spill fumes. All were exposed to toxic chemicals in the air and became ill. Even in your home, air contamination can make you sick. You have been exposed to airborne toxic particulate matter and volatile organic compounds causing fatigue, flu-like symptoms, or worse. Protect yourself. You cannot trust anyone to do it for you. Clean the air in your home or workplace with a HealthMate Plus air purifier. Call airfiltersandpurifiers.com for answers on how to purify the air you breathe. Contact airfiltersandpurifiers.com and ask about the HealthMate Plus. The HealthMate Plus is capable of trapping 99.97% of all polluting particulates. Buy the HealthMate Plus today with no tax, free shipping, a 5-year warranty, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to airfiltersandpurifiers.com. GCN listeners get a 5% discount by using promo code GCN. Call 800-499-2418 or go to airfiltersandpurifiers.com. Your trusted advisor for clean air.
Look at this article, Natural News. Scientists stunned as bee populations continue to decline. Scientists remain stymied as honeybees in the United States and across the world continue to die in large numbers. We had German studies 4 years ago that it's BT corn. They eat it and they die. There are a lot of beekeepers who are in trouble, said David Mendez, president of the American Beekeeping Federation. Under normal conditions, you have 10% winter losses. This year, there were 30, 40, or 50% losses. For many years, beekeepers have been plagued by colony collapse disorder, which formerly healthy bees abruptly vanish from their hives. The number of beehives in the United States dropped 32% in 2007, another 36% in 2008, and 29% in 2009. In the aggregate, it's very close to total collapse. Continuing here. This is out of Cleveland newspaper. Fluoride mouth rinse program to restart in schools this year. Fluoride mouth rinse programs aim to prevent tooth decay in communities where water is not sufficiently fluoridated. There's not enough fluoride. The Ohio Department of Health school-based fluoride mouth rinse program will reinstate for the upcoming school year. So they're going to cut food stamps, but they got money for that fluoride because they care, folks. The health department suspended the program last year after state representatives passed a bill that required any prescription medications given to students in school to be administered by health professionals. Governor Ted Strickland signed legislation in May that made the exemption for fluoride mouth rinse. And here's another one. Guess where your fluoride comes from? China. And we've talked a lot about this. The majority, some numbers are above 90% of fluoride coming into the U.S. are from China with other poisons added. And there's been newscasts covering this, but that's like saying, you know, the bullets we're shooting you in the head with are coming from China, not from America. There's other poisons in there, not just the regular poison. I'm almost out of time, but let's go to Aaron in Oklahoma. Aaron, you're on the air.
Hey there, Alex. This is Aaron. I don't have anything to talk about for the bees or anything, but I wanted to talk to you about specifically HJR 192 and discharging debt. I made the mistake of going to school at ITT Tech, of all places, and I have student loans I owe to Sallie Mae, and I'm wondering if if you've heard of anyone actually been able to get away with discharging this debt using the Uniform Commercial Code, specifically HJR 192.
You know, that's a very complex issue, and I'm not going to give financial advice on it. There's some reality to all that, but mainly it's patriot mythology and stuff that people make up. Now, there's a lot of contract fraud in mortgages and things that companies do that's unlawful, and so there is some success fighting it there. But as for magically just doing something and it all goes away, that's a good way to get in deep trouble. I appreciate your call from my experience, but you figure it out for yourself. Let's talk to Rick in Michigan. Rick, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. I just had a quick question about the 2012 elections, if you feel if Ron Paul would run and win it, and if the elites are going to engineer a third party.
That'd be crazy if you had a father-son ticket, Ron Paul president, Rand Paul vice president. But Ron Paul's going to run unless he has health problems, and he's in pretty good shape. I mean, he hadn't told me that, but he's going to run. Just watch. And I'll support that because bottom line, he'll be able to educate tens of millions from those debates and that bully pulpit he's going to have. But at the same time, I'd like to focus on the states and counties and cities where we can really take things back under the 9th and 10th Amendment. That's the main remedy for peaceful resistance to an out-of-control federal government. And so that's where people need to have their focus, not have 60% turnouts for federal elections and then 8% national average for local. How about 60% local and 60% or even higher national?
Right. And last year on September 12th, when the FCC was covering, was it over 2 million people that was marching at the Capitol?
Yes.
And, I mean, it's about to be September 12th again, and hopefully, we'll have a better turnout this year.
Resistance is victory. Resistance is victory. We're out of time for this hour. You can always listen to the retransmission, Infowars.com. Great job to the crew. 2 powerful guests coming up. Stay with us.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com.